KICKASSETS. Cha-ching!
Oh no, Santa's dead. What happened? Merry Christmas, everybody, from Kick Assets. Thank you for watching all my videos this year. It's been a very humbling year. I hope you had all a good year. Hope you have a good Christmas and happy holidays. And yeah, look forward to the next year. Taking it slowly, step by step, and building a bigger empire. Just kidding. I'm thinking of toning it down this year and just taking it easy. Don't want to get too many houses. Look at the lights, how they change from the zoom to zoom in and zoom out. Yeah, so it's been an exciting year. A lot of things going on. A bit overwhelming at times, but appreciate all the good fortune and all the good people I've met this year. And I'll talk about it in some future videos. So I just want to wish you everybody a Merry Christmas. Have a safe holidays and enjoy meeting all your family members. Alright, time to do some Christmas parties for my students. This is my school, by the way. Yes, I still teach. Gotta keep humble somehow. Yay. Alright. Have a good night. And they're off. Merry Christmas again, everybody. Merry Christmas 2024. Yeah, here we are at the horse race track. Racehorse track? Horse race track. I'm walking along here. Well, obviously you can see somebody's been here. What kind of sand is this? Oh, it's just basic sand, like the beach kind of. Pretty cool. So this is a horse race track, but also an active park. People walk their dogs and stuff when it's not open. As you can see from the sign over there, make sure you clean up your poo. Don't leave it on the ground. Don't horse around. So anyhow, it's another gorgeous day. As you can see, it's sunny today. That's the good thing about Japan. Even in the winter, it's cold. It's like 10, 11 degrees right now. But almost every single day, it's sunny. Just non-stop sun. Occasional cloudy day. Hasn't rained in a couple weeks. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool. So, it's pretty nice. Place your bets. Who's going to win this year? Which house? I meant horse. Horse or house is going to win this race? Anyhow. Yeah, I just wanted to go over a few rule changes that happened this year. 2 major changes in the search for Akiya and rules that maybe not all sites are updated, and I found out the hard way on both of them actually, but the second one mainly recently. So the first one is very simple. As of April 1st, 2024, all foreigners buying a house who don't live here, who cannot get their juminhyo, who rely on an affidavit to get their house, are most likely to require a proxy, like myself. So, yeah. So when you walk in, you buy the place, and they ask you, who's gonna sign the papers for you? Yeah, you're gonna need that. So what that entails is basically you're just gonna use someone to represent you or someone to take care of you. So the point of doing this is that when you buy a house as a foreigner in Japan, they have your address here so they can track you down, right? But when you buy it from overseas and you're using an affidavit, they A, don't speak the local language, and B, phoning abroad can be a pain in the ass. So especially from Japan, who's in some areas technology, they're behind, technologically behind. So yeah, so even if you come from abroad and you buy one of these houses, you're gonna need somebody like me to sign the paper for you. And basically it was scary at first when I was doing that, but they claim to me I have no responsibility whatsoever. It's just somebody they call if they can't get a hold of you. But in some cases they do ask me to take care of the taxes and stuff like that. So I mean, that's the iffy part. Every case is different, and I don't like to push them on that. I only wait till they ask me for it. But every single time they ask me, oh, do you think you could be the proxy for this guy? And I'm like, okay. Because before this was an extra fee I charged because not everybody asked about it. But now everybody seems to be asking. So yeah, I don't want to do it, obviously. But in order to get a deal done for my client, yeah, you got to do what you got to do, you know. So I just do that. But managing the taxes, stuff like that, is another level of duty. Just troublesome, you know, because you have to take a lot of stuff, remember a lot of stuff, and remember to keep up on track of bills, you know, especially when you can barely keep a track on your own stuff at times. Like, oh, did I pay that? So imagine doing it for like 50 people. So, and plus you get like stacks of mail coming to your house. So far I've only had one call from somebody asking me if I get a hold of them to remind them to pay on their taxes. So some agents are willing to deliver the taxes to that person, or they want to use me. So it's always case by case. Pain in the ass, but it is what it is. And you got to do what you got to do. So as of April 1st, this is something. Now there are ways possibly to get around it, but that's something you just wait until the agent asks you that. If they don't mention it, they figured it out themselves. Because if you start bringing that stuff up, then they might just feel like you're trying to be dodgy or something. So I don't want to ripple the water, ripple the lake, or whatever you call it, you know, bother the situation. So you just want to get a deal done. You want to get a deal done, right? Stir the water. I can't even speak English anymore. Pardon me. Been here 25 years. Wow, it's a long time, Colin. It is, I know. Getting old. I'm more Japanese than I am Canadian now. Been here 25 years in Canada, 23, almost 24 there. So, yeah. There's a person walking his dog now. Cool. Okay, so that's it. Proxy. Which I do for most of my clients, and they're happy about that. And sometimes I'm even a double proxy. And what a double proxy means that I'm not only your proxy, but I actually sign the contract for you. So you basically power of attorney in that sense. And I've done that a few times as well this year. Because it enables people to get the contract done without them being here. Of course, they want to meet you at least one time, like on the final day. So all I can say is that in each case, if you really want a specific house, you do whatever they require. And every situation is a little bit different. So you just got to be very flexible. This is not a business to be stubborn in. And you have to appreciate getting what you get. And that's the biggest thing. Japanese don't like dealing with foreigners because sometimes some of them are a pain in the ass. Nitpick about everything. And with the language barrier on top of that, it's like, yeah, why would they bother? So somebody like me working with you helps ease that. Because in some cases, the sellers or the seller's agent wouldn't even work with the client on the loan, so that's why they called me. And in some cases, I was there and I helped get the deal done, where they admittedly told me they wouldn't have worked with them directly. And it is what it is. It's not. They just don't want to deal with the hassle, especially with this proxy stuff now. So, but as soon as you live here? Oh, you speak Japanese? Oh, you know what you're doing? Okay, we'll use you. So my last few deals have been like that. And it makes it, sometimes the process goes smooth as butter. So the best situation is when I have a client that's very flexible, is very happy and appreciates getting what he can in Japan, and teamed up with me, and we go in. So far, 100% success rate. So that's all it requires. If you're a little more stubborn, I still work with you and I'll still try to get it done, but it just makes it a little bit harder because, stubbornness doesn't work here. But they won't know you're stubborn. It'll just be me trying to take what you want and relaying it to them in the nicest way possible. But they might get the sense of stubbornness. So, yeah, that's just one issue. But don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. Just being flexible is just an awesome way to be in life in general. So that's one thing. Point number 2 is as of July 1st, there are no more free Akiyas. And what I mean by that is that when you sign for a property, usually there's an agent involved, somebody to write up the contracts and all that stuff. And before, it was like 5% of the property selling price under a certain amount, and 4% under a certain amount. So 4% under 4 million yen, and 5% under 1 million, I think it was. And then anything above 4 million yen was 3%. Yeah, so basically if you bought a property for $1,000, that would be like nothing for the agent. So, which is kind of ridiculous, because why would they want to do all that and spend all the work on there? And that's why a lot of agents don't want to work with Akiya. It's just not profitable. It's a waste of time. So to fix that issue, basically what they did is they raised the minimum price. So there's no more 5%, 4% issue anymore. There's still 3%. But how it works is any property under 8 million yen now is 330,000 yen. 300,000 yen plus tax. So 330,000 yen altogether as a real estate commission tax. So no matter if the property is $5, $20, $1,000, 7.9 million yen, it doesn't matter. 1,000 yen, 2,000 yen, ichiman yen, whatever. The price is going to be 330,000 yen for commission. So yeah, I found this out suddenly because I was in Canada for the 2 months during the summertime, so I wasn't aware of this. So when I bought something recently for really cheap, I was like, oh, okay, cool. But then they're like, oh, we got to charge you this. I'm like, what the hell? This is almost the cost of the place I'm getting. So yeah, that'll be a video coming up. It's something to do with number 16, house number 16 I got. So yeah, it's good news. So I'm not going to complain about it. It's really good news. But yeah, that's what the agent was telling me. I'm like, what the hell? Okay. And I thought she was just trying to rip me off or something, but no, she's like, no, rules changed. So the law changed from July 1st, 330,000 yen on any property under 8 million yen. It is what it is. It's a good idea though, because it keeps agents more serious and to help. Unfortunately, I mean, it's sad for the seller, because if a seller's selling his house for $500 or goulma yen or something, 50,000 yen, and they got to pay the agent, they're actually losing money. So what may happen is that people that are selling cheap Akiyas and cheap houses, if they don't want to lose any money, they might sell it at a minimum of 330,000 yen just to break even, if you know what I mean. So that's awesome for the agent. The agent's going to make a lot of money now. So he'll make 660,000 yen per transaction, which is good. So, I mean, it's a lot of money for the agent on a small property, but at the same time, it's got to be done. So it's a bittersweet news. It's got its good parts and its bad parts. Unfortunately, yeah, no more cheap properties in that sense. I mean, obviously, unless you buy directly from them, you might get a deal. But there is a loophole, though. Not really a loophole. What one agent told me is that they don't have to charge you that. So if you find somebody to work with that's willing to give you a deal, it is possible to get it lower. It's up to the agent. But obviously, most agents want to make money, and they're going to go by the rules, the laws. Why wouldn't they, right? So obviously it is what it is. Yeah, rules change sometimes. So that's why I say right now is the perfect storm to buy an Akiya in Japan. The yen is down. The American dollar is very strong versus the yen right now. It's a beautiful country. It's a safe country. There's a lot of properties available. And it doesn't mean it's going to be like this forever. One day things might change, like they always do. Remember, Japan was in a bubble in the 70s and 80s. Everything was overpriced. Now it's the opposite. Now North America is overpriced. So things can change. So buy now, Not only that, but the fact that rules can change. Maybe they might not sell to foreigners anymore. We don't know. You have to take advantage. That's what I learned. Take advantage of something when it's there. And, appreciate it. Because it might just dry up. Like the food here in Japan. Japan was so cheap versus America. Now things here are going up in price. Not as bad as North America, but still. My favorite taco place doubled in price. But, I guess people just gotta make up. I find here that the people, when they raise prices, they feel bad about doing it, so they don't really want to do it. And they end up having to do it because all the things around them, they're forced to do it. Like, for example, my taco place, to make a taco now costs more money because, vegetables have gone up in price, so it forces them to deal with that. But I find in North America, people just copy each other. So if one person goes up, then everybody else goes up. It's just different mentality, which I appreciate here. So there are still some places where I can get lunch for 600 yen, like $5, $4 American. But eventually, they might go away too, right? it is what it is. So if you have any questions about my services or the new laws or whatever, just shoot me an email or check out my website at KICKASSETS.HOMES. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. See you soon in my next series.